Ants. Tiny, relentless, and seemingly everywhere. They march through our homes, build massive underground networks, and somehow manage to lift objects many times their weight. But what if I told you that ants are far more complex than we ever imagined? These creatures engage in warfare, practice farming, and even fall victim to horrifying parasites that turn them into zombies. By the end of this video, you'll never see ants the same way again. Let's start with their incredible strength. Most people have heard that ants can lift objects up to 50 times their body weight. But what does that actually mean? Imagine a human lifting a full-grown elephant. That's what ants do daily without breaking a sweat. Their exoskeletons provide structural support, allowing their muscles to take up a larger proportion of their body mass. In comparison, human muscles are limited by the weight of bones and organs. Ants operate differently. Their small size means gravity affects them less, and their muscle fibers are optimized for raw power. Scientists have even observed ants carrying objects hundreds of times heavier than themselves. The Asian weaver ant, for example, can hold onto a branch while suspending a prey item up to 100 times its own weight. Strength isn't their only superpower. Some ants are expert architects, creating underground cities that rival human civilizations in complexity. The largest ant colony ever discovered spanned an astonishing 3,700 miles across Europe. This supercolony contained billions of ants, all working together as a single entity. In the Amazon rainforest, leafcutter ants create vast tunnel networks with specialized chambers for different tasks. They even have waste disposal systems, preventing disease from spreading within their colony. In Argentina, researchers poured liquid cement into an abandoned ant nest and uncovered an intricate underground metropolis with ventilation shafts, storage rooms, and farming chambers. Yes, you heard that right. Farming. Leafcutter ants don't eat the leaves they collect. Instead, they use them to cultivate a special fungus, their primary food source. This makes them one of the few non-human species to practice agriculture. But ants are not just builders and farmers, they are also warriors. In fact, ants have been waging wars long before humans existed. Some species, like the army ant, launch massive raids involving thousands of soldiers. These swarms move through forests like an unstoppable force, consuming everything in their path. Other ants specialize in chemical warfare. The yellow crazy ant sprays formic acid to blind and disorient enemies. Fire ants, notorious for their painful sting, inject venom that causes burning sensations and allergic reactions. Some ants take warfare even further, engaging in slavery. Yes, slavery exists in the ant world. Slave-making ants invade other colonies, stealing pupae and raising them as their own. Once these stolen ants mature, they unknowingly serve their captors, foraging and defending a colony they were never meant to be part of. If that wasn't disturbing enough, there's an even darker force at play. Enter Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, a parasitic fungus that turns ants into mindless zombies. This fungus infects an ant by releasing microscopic spores that attach to its exoskeleton. Once inside, the spores multiply, spreading throughout the ant's body and eventually reaching its brain. At this point, the ant is no longer in control. The fungus forces it to climb to a high vantage point, clamp its mandibles onto a leaf, and wait. Then, in a horrifying turn of events, the fungus bursts through the ant's head, releasing spores to infect more victims. This real-life horror story has been unfolding for millions of years, and scientists are still uncovering new details about how this fungus manipulates its hosts. Not all ant interactions are gruesome. Some ants have formed unlikely alliances with other species. Acacia ants live in symbiosis with acacia trees, protecting them from herbivores in exchange for food and shelter. These ants will attack anything that threatens their tree, including large animals and even humans. Speaking of intelligence, ants possess an advanced communication system that allows them to coordinate complex tasks with astonishing precision. Unlike humans who rely on verbal language, ants use pheromones, chemical signals that convey specific messages. When a scout ant finds food, it lays down a pheromone trail leading back to the colony. Other ants follow this trail, reinforcing it as they travel, creating an efficient highway system. If danger is near, ants release alarm pheromones, triggering an immediate defensive response. Some species even use sound to communicate. By rubbing body parts together, they produce vibrations that warn nestmates of potential threats. Another mind-blowing fact is that ants can survive extreme conditions that would kill most other animals. The Saharan silver ant is a perfect example. It thrives in one of the hottest places on Earth, where surface temperatures can reach a blistering 158 degrees Fahrenheit. To survive, these ants have evolved specialized heat-resistant hairs that reflect sunlight and allow them to forage during the hottest part of the day, when predators are least active. Perhaps the most unsettling fact about ants is their sheer numbers. It's estimated that for every human on Earth, there are at least 2.5 million ants. That means the total ant population exceeds 20 quadrillion. Their collective biomass outweighs all wild birds and mammals combined. If ants ever decided to turn against us, we wouldn't stand a chance. Luckily, they seem more interested in their own affairs, at least for now. Ants are far more than just tiny insects scurrying across your kitchen counter. They are farmers, builders, warriors, and even victims of terrifying parasites. Their societies rival human civilizations in complexity, and their survival strategies push the limits of what we thought was possible. The next time you see an ant, take a closer look. You might just be witnessing one of nature's most astonishing creatures in action. If you enjoyed learning these shocking ant facts, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps the channel grow and lets us know you want more incredible content like this. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest videos. Now we want to hear from you. What fact surprised you the most? Do you have any crazy ant stories of your own? Drop a comment below. We read every single one.